Holy giant pile of phalluses, Batman! I'm Jenny Lorenzo, and this is Geekgasm. Bam! Pow! Ow! Guys, I hope you don't take this costume seriously, though it does give me the strange urge to poop in a litter box. This episode is about as bittersweet as a 5-tier chocolate cake with AIDS frosting. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy has reached its conclusion, and I am here to say goodbye to it and weigh in on the climactic finale. Face it, it has been an amazing ride, and we are sad to see it come to an end. You see, I compare the Nolan Bat films to a really strong antiseptic mouthwash in which we liberally gargled with after the colossal shit sandwich that was Batman and Nipples. Batman and Robin.
Mr. Freeze makes my nipples so hard.
In cinematic history, has there ever been a character to sink as low, and merely a decade later ascend to such great heights? I mean, I would say that's doubtful, and that is a testament to Batman as a character. As Alfred said, he can endure, and he most certainly has. Batman survived a very neon, very homoerotic acid trip, only to come back with a literal vengeance. It may be true that we might have Batman Begins to blame for the, recent cinematic reboots, but unlike more than half of the remakes and rehashes, it was quite necessary and was handled masterfully. Pulling from the classic comics such as Frank Miller's Year One, we are given a real-world, gritty origin of the Caped Crusader, excluding microwave emitter, vaporizer, HEPA filter weapons. Batman Begins made you believe that a man could make himself an incorruptible symbol of justice by just throwing on a cape and growling at people. Other Bat films had you twiddling your thumbs until Bruce cowled up, whereas Begins made you care for Bruce and the three facets of his personality. You had the billionaire playboy, the masked vigilante in desperate need of a lozenge, and the boy who lost his parents and grew up into the man who put purpose to his pain. Begins featured an all-star cast, and not just in the principal roles. This movie stepped up its A-game by casting Oscar-winning and worthy actors in the peripheral roles, excluding Katie Holmes and her weird stroke face. Begins ended with Jim Gordon warning Bats about escalation, which treated the audience to the ultimate "Hell yeah!" reveal as the card flipped over, foreshadowing the arrival of the clown prince of crime himself. Dude, seriously, the wait between Begins and The Dark Knight was absolutely excruciating. Personally, I would have rather participated in the Russian roulette scene in The Deer Hunter. Little by little, news started to leak out about the project, and the Joker was finally cast. Hindsight being 2020, I remember scratching a huge hole in my head at Heath Ledger's casting.
Why does the guy come with the Joker?
It made zero sense. I mean, not one film in his entire body of work showed off that he had the chops to pull this off. And I'm still getting the taste of my foot out of my mouth. Ledger's Agent of Chaos blew through The Dark Knight like a hurricane, and in spite of his tragic end, Heath Ledger's Joker will endure as a pop culture icon, not unlike Brandon Lee's Crow. Escalation was most certainly The Dark Knight's theme, as the Joker watched Gotham burn, while not literally, but through its infrastructure. When you blow up the object of Batman's affections, well, the day is pretty much yours. However, when you go and leave the White Knight scarred enough mentally and physically to go on a killing spree and abduct a police commissioner's family, well, brah fucking vo. How could you not tear up at the end as Batman flees from his pursuers to Hans Zimmer's score after taking the fall for Two-Face's crimes? If you don't, I submit you have no soul and should immediately be bitten by a pack of rabid derelicts.
Nice kitty.
Now that brings us to The Dark Knight Rises. Okay, now wait. This is totally spoiler-free. Batman is really Bruce Willis.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I will say this much. Nolan delivered us with the definitive superhero trilogy. The story of Bruce Wayne has a clear beginning, middle, and end, and it does not disappoint. Rises is an epic in the scale of which has never been seen in comic book films. Never has the plight of Bruce Wayne and his city seemed more dire, as both of them are threatened to be broken into by Bane. Look out for standout performances all around, especially by Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway. Bale's Caped Crusader has never been sharper, and Hathaway's turn as the feline femme fatale was spot-on, fanboy boner-inducing. And the climax in and of itself was a big fat gushy geekgasm and delivered on all levels. Christopher Nolan and company have given us the story of Bruce Wayne, and it is a triumph overall. I would like to take this opportunity to send our condolences to those affected and the victims of the Colorado shooting. This heinous act of a madman proves that there are truly evil people out there who only want to watch the world burn. And in the words of Harvey Dent, the night is darkest before the dawn. And for those affected, for the friends and families of the victims, the dawn will come. Especially when you keep the memory of your loved ones alive, and that's what's going to be remembered. The precious lives of the victims, not the act of a madman. Thanks for tuning in as always, lovelies. I am Jenny Lorenzo. Stay geeky, my friends. You know, I'm beginning to think there's a flea situation. What? I can't bathe myself in public?
Oh my god, this is like the best Photoshop ever.